Hey guys, Cal here today with the 2024 Lexus IS350 F-Sport design. This one is finished in the paint color Incognito, and after 4 added options, it is a final sticker price of $49,385. Today I'm here to find out, is the IS350 too outdated, or is it still worth purchasing in 2024? Let's find out. Taking a quick look at the window sticker for the IS350 F-Sport design here. You have that 3.5 liter V6 engine with 311 horsepower hooked up to that 6-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive. You have some info about the interior and exterior styling right there, as well as some safety info and your connected info for all your technology within the car. Over here we have the base price of the IS350 F-Sport design, $45,260. 4 added options, $1,670 for that navigation system with the 10.3-inch display, $1,100 for the power moonroof right there, and then you have $155 for the door edge guards, which right here, look at that, they are paint matched. They look really good on there. They blend in pretty well. Nice to have that added protection. I would definitely option that, especially for only $155. You have the key glove here, $25. After those 4 options right there, comes to $49,385 with the $1,175 destination. So, I mean, it is a pretty penny, but so far I've been very impressed with this car. Great quality throughout on the F-Sport design here. It's beautiful. Stylistically, on the IS350 F-Sport design, what is different compared to, say, something like the base model, the IS300? Well, aside from the IS300 only having the 4-cylinder under the hood, obviously this has that awesome 3.5 liter V6. Stylistically, on the front end, not too big of changes, but enough to make this thing stand apart. So in the center grille here, what you're going to notice is that at the bottom, they have added an extra intake for the intercooler right at the bottom of the grille, that slit that runs all the way across. And then compared to the standard IS300, on the center grille here, you will see 2 extra air intakes right there on each side of the grille. The standard IS300 does not have that. It's just one solid grille down here. And then for your side vents, they both do look like they do the same thing, but instead on the IS350 F-Sport design here, they take up a little bit more space. So on the IS300, they're a little bit thinner, whereas on this one, they come out a little bit further. So they take up a little bit more visual space on the front end. So I definitely think the IS350 sets itself apart. You have those awesome looking projector headlamps with that daytime running light running all the way up into the style line right there. Very pretty front end. And man, those wheels certainly do pull this whole thing off. Very beautiful car up here. Quick side note, something that's a little outdated up here is the fact that on a $49,000 car, we have a halogen turn signal. It would have been nice to see an LED turn signal up here. And under the hood of the F-Sport design is the naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6. It is putting out 311 horsepower and 280 pound-foot of torque, and that is all mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, I know the 6-speed, you might be like, wait, where is my 7-speed, my 8-speed, my 10-speed, like every other car has nowadays? Well, I have to say the 6-speed in this car, while it might seem a little outdated and it might not be the snappiest on the market, it does actually have really smooth shifts, and it does upshift or downshift faster than you would expect from seeing the numbers on paper. Just seeing a 6-speed, you'd think it'd be a slow transmission, but it's certainly not. I've been behind the wheel for a little bit of time now, and it feels pretty good. So I do like the transmission in this. It is good. Like I said, might not be cutting edge, but it does definitely do the job. And the 0 to 60 is estimated at 5.5 to 6 seconds on this F-Sport design. So it's certainly not a slow car either. And as far as fuel economy is concerned on the 3.5 liter V6 here, we are looking at 19 miles to the gallon in the city, 26 miles to the gallon on the highway, and 22 miles to the gallon combined. Here we are on the side of the 350 F-Sport design. You'll see there is just a few things that are different on the 350 compared to the standard IS300. When you get just the IS300, your front bumper, this little splitter down here, is just painted body color. On the 350 F-Sport design, it is gloss black down there, so really like that. On the rims here, if you get an IS300, it's just going to be an 18-inch alloy wheel that's just painted a standard silver color, whereas on this F-Sport design, you get these awesome looking 19-inch wheels, which do have a little bit different design, and they have this really cool paint. It looks just like a dark gray paint that has this really cool paint effect. It looks like iridescent or pearlescent. I don't know what you would call it, but it has an awesome finish to it. Love the look of these rims on the F-Sport. And then you have the F-Sport badging on the front quarter panel as well. The side mirrors do appear to be the same as the ones that are on the IS300. Does come with a blind spot alert, and then your your side skirt down here, I do think it's a little bit different than the side skirt that is on the IS300, because this one does have, it looks like an extra little gloss black lip on this side skirt down here, which gives it an extra sporty edge from the side profile. Your passive entry does appear to only be on the front door handles, so do keep that in mind. Door handles are painted the body color. And then coming back to your fuel door, you don't have to go inside to open it. We'll just go ahead and hit it like that and open it up. You cannot put 87 in the 3.5 liter V6. It does require premium. And real quick before we continue, here are those $155 door edge guards right here. Really, really nicely done. Already paint matched. Nothing you have to do. It's already there from factory. Love that. And then I have to say, super random side note, but these are the flossiest looking side mirrors I have seen on a car in this class in quite some time. I mean, I think it's the turn signal that really does it. Just wraps around like that. Just has the coolest look. You have that gloss black cap up there. Just looks so, so sweet. It's like, it just tops off the whole side profile of the car. It just looks so, so high end. This car looks awesome. Now here we are at the rear end of the IS350 with the F-Sport design package, and we're gonna talk about what is different back here compared to the standard IS300. Now on the IS300, you're gonna see that the bottom of the bumper back here is just a flat black plastic, whereas on this F-Sport design, it has gloss black paint down there. And then on the F-Sport design package, also up here, you have this gloss black spoiler on top of the trunk. So it kind of rounds out the back end here, gives it a nice sharp look, and it's a little bit of contrast, so it makes the rear end of the IS look even better. And then in the back end here, you will see that you do have some LED running lights across the entire rear here. But then as for your turn signals, they are halogen, just like the turn signals up front were. So again, it's like, you know, you figure they could have put LED turn signals on there for this being a $49,000 car, but I guess it's neither here nor there. Even the reverse lights are LED, so the turn signal is the only thing that is not LED on the rear end of the IS350 here. All right, guys, and as for trunk space on the 350 here, we are looking at 10.8 cubic feet of space in the trunk here, so it is a little on the small side. The Audi A4 has 12 cubic feet of space. The Mercedes C-Class has 12.6 cubic feet of space, so this 10.8 cubic feet of space is pretty small back here for this classic car. And I always do this for you guys. In this video, I assume it's going to be a little ridiculous for me to do this because I know my 3 Series, the back seat of that years ago, was not much bigger than this, so this is going to be kind of funny to see. But I have the front seat in the same position it was when I was sitting there. I didn't move it at all. I'm 6'2", and we're going to take a seat in the back seat right now. Piano black trim over here with your window switch. There's no branding on the speakers down there. You have padded leather right here, padded leather in that midsection. This is sort of plastic in these sections. We'll go ahead and sit down in the seat here. Very nice leather as well, by the way. Great cushion. Feels very smooth to the touch. There's no rough little things that catch your hand. Awesome, awesome quality. Got that white stitching on the edge. So we'll go ahead and sit down here. Again, I'm 6'2". Ooh, sitting behind myself here, and we're gonna try to get that leg in. Get in. Whoa, oh my God. Okay, let's see if we can close this door. Hey, look at that. All right, so if you get in, the foot space down here is very, very tight. So that's one thing I'm noticing is tight, but once you get your foot in there, it's not too bad. But I am sitting behind myself being 6'2", so if you have one guy up here that's 6'2" and another tall guy back here, you can make it work. The head room is not as bad as you'd expect. Usually these little cars have sloping roof lines. Not as bad as you'd expect back here. You have a little spot to hang your business shirt, and you also have a little handle there as well. Backseat passengers do have little air vents back here. There they are. So take a look at that. Taking a seat in the driver's seat of the IS350. Like I said in the back seat, I am 6'2", and I have to say the leg space up here in the IS350 is incredible. Like me, like I'm mostly legs, and you'll see that my leg, I would really basically call that straight right now. So if you guys are looking for an awesome road trip car and you're taller and you want to make sure you're going to be comfortable in it, I think the IS350 is definitely going to be a serious contender for you. And these leather seats feel awesome, super comfortable for a good maybe hour or two ride. But I did notice on the side here when I was playing with the power controls, there is no lumbar support on this seat. So if you do like lumbar support, I don't think this car is going to be for you for road trips. But if it is just an hour power too. These seats are super supportive and super comfortable. All right, guys, hopping into the driver's seat of the IS350 here, you will see door panel, same as the rear. You got plastic here, basically a plastic here. It's like a really hard vinyl. You have leather here in this section, piano black trim here, all your window switches, your lock and unlock, and your mirror adjuster up here. And then down here, little door pocket, fair size, not too big, but not too small. Speakers that are not branded just like they were in the back. So it is just a standard factory system. And when I take a seat in here, I do have something to mention that I noticed when I got in. I have not been in any other IS models, so I've never had to deal with this. Maybe some of you guys are already used to this, but the hump from the, I'm guessing this is the transmission, and down here, look at this. I mean, it really comes out. So, you know, whereas in my BMW, I was always just used to having a full floor to kind of spread out down here. Whereas here, it doesn't really impede as bad as you would think, because when you're on the gas pedal, naturally your knees kind of resting up here. I'm sure I would get used to it over time, but it definitely is an annoying little thing that you would have to get used to if you were coming from something like a BMW. All right, guys, time to start the Lexus up. We'll go ahead and put our foot on the brake down there and hit our start button up here. There's that V6 comes to life, and man, when it starts up, I love the feeling. Like, it gives you a little bit of a rumble from the engine bay. You know, you kind of got that feeling of a nice, powerful engine starting up under the hood. So I love this big displacement V6 under the hood. And this leather steering wheel feels fantastic. It is super smooth. This leather feels like it is going to last for a very long time, as it should, because it is a Lexus. Steering wheel feels great. The center here, got your horn. These buttons over here, when we hit these, it's going to cycle through some of the stations or favorites that you have set up. And then if we go over here, it's going to turn your volume up and down. And by the way, also, even though this is just a factory sound system, like there's no branding on it, it doesn't say like Mark Levinson or Bose or whatever, it does have a fantastic sound to it. So great sound system in here. I did test it, super wholesome. And down here, you have all your controls for the Bluetooth for your phone. Over here, you have the Pages button. We'll go ahead and hit that. It's going to cycle through your driver information center with all that info up there, as well as these little arrows here. So these are going to kind of work in conjunction with each other to make that driver information center work. You know, you have all your standard stuff up there, tire pressures, miles per gallon, all that good stuff is going to be found up here in that screen. Down here, the lane keep assist, I would definitely recommend turning this off, because this was driving me nuts on the way here. Like, you can be getting just a little slightly close to the line, like you're not even anywhere near it, and you feel the kind of, you know, artificial feeling coming through the wheel wanting to tug you the other way. The lane keep assist is kind of annoying in this car, so I would turn it off pretty much every time I was in the car. Your forward collision alert, to adjust the gap for that forward collision alert, that button is going to be right there, and it'll populate up in the driver information center. Nice classic, just beautiful Lexus style gauges. You have that awesome, just clean tachometer, your coolant temperature gauge over there, you have your fuel gauge and your speedometer. Such a clean, classic look up here, accompanied by this beautiful looking Lexus clock, which has, you know, I don't know what you would call that, like a carbon fiber, or just kind of a cool zigzag pattern within the clock itself. And just such a classy touch. I know it makes it look like this car is from like 2013. So I have to say, you know, when you look at this whole interior in whole, it does look a little outdated in here. You know, the sunroof is not, you know, it's not like a panoramic sunroof, it's just kind of like a standard sunroof. And then when you look down here, you know, you see the Lexus clock, which I do like this touch. I don't care, you know, how into the new age this car, this model gets. I would still like to see this clock. So I personally do like that. I think it's a nice touch. But it's interesting to see in here. Look at this. Are you kidding me? We have a CD player. You know what? Props to Lexus for that. I'm a big fan of that. That's pretty sick, having a CD player in your car in 2024. Love that. All your climate controls are super simple down here. You got your fan speed, your position right there. You have the buttons for your heated seats right down here. Just a standard style shifter. Go ahead and put it into drive like that, or over to the left for manual if you do want to use the paddle shifters, which are back there. Not the best feeling paddle shifters in the world. They do feel a little plasticky when you're playing with them. They're not the most satisfying. It doesn't have like that cold metal feel to it. Put that back into park right there. And this just has, what a simple interior. I mean, when you look at everything, it is great to look at, because you feel like you're in a car from like 10 years ago. So depending what auto enthusiast you are, it is going to be a refreshing feeling for you, not seeing your entire dashboard covered with a touchscreen, just a simple little touchscreen right here. This is that option touchscreen that we saw on the window sticker. It's like $1,670 to get this touchscreen. So there is that super beautiful touchscreen. Works in conjunction with your trackpad down here. So if I hit menu, it'll bring up your phone. You know, obviously you're going to find all your contacts in there. If we hit audio, here is your radio. And what I love is how quickly it works. You grab the tune button and we can get all the way from channel 2 all the way up to channel 50 in a matter of no time. We'll go right to BPM. My favorite station we got right there. Volume knob is super quick, brings the volume up and down super fast. We'll grab our trackpad again, we'll hit menu and we will go over to apps. You'll see in the app screen, it is really just basically absolutely nothing. I'll probably never go into the app screen. And then if we go over to projection, that's obviously going to be your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And then if we go to info, guys will see it's just going to give you some kind of little stats about the car and how you've been driving and things like that. So kind of neat, not something every luxury car has. And then setup is going to be exactly what it sounds like. Climate. I would never use climate because I hate playing with climate in a digital format. I would just use the buttons down here because, you know, I am old school, so I actually really love this car. And having physical climate controls, you know, while you're driving, I mean, if you're doing 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, whatever you're doing, last thing you want to do is just play with a screen to get to your climate. So love cars that still have this physical format. So props to Lexus, still got the CD player, still has all these physical climate control buttons up here. Don't like the piano black because that is going to be a fingerprint magnet very, very soon. But what a beautiful interior. Got the leather here, leather padding on your center console. Not a horribly small center console, but it's not very deep. So really don't plan on putting too much in there. And then your cup holder test. Let's grab our Yeti. And oh man, all right, this is the 26-ounce Yeti. It's not going to fit in your cup holders, so it might fit your Dunkin' coffee, your Tim Hortons, your Starbucks, whatever, but it is not going to fit the Yeti. Might fit the Stanley because the Stanley's got the slimmer base, but here it is. This is your interior. So the outside of the car when we go out there is gorgeous when we take a look at it, but you know, the interior, it is pretty outdated, but when you see this exterior out here, it makes up for everything on the interior. But I'm an old school car enthusiast, so I like having the outdated interior. I don't really want all those screens and everything that's really unnecessary. This, to me, it feels great getting in the driver's seat here. You have that awesome, powerful V6. You have that 6-speed transmission in here, which is also old school. What a great feeling in this car. I love it. All right, guys, and this is what we paid $1,100 for, is our power moonroof. So we're gonna go ahead, get that open. Yeah, check that out. Nice. I would definitely option that. I mean, $1,100. To me, I love a sunroof or a moonroof. I think it makes the car, and you know, for $1,100, especially on a luxury car like this, definitely a good option to have, especially for resale, because I'm sure whoever is buying this car in the future is also probably going to want a sunroof. So if I was getting my own 350, I would definitely get a sunroof. Before we get out on the road, I'll show you the drive selector here. If you want it in eco mode, save a little gas, turn it to the left, you'll see eco pop up on the dash. Turn it to the right, it's going to go into sport mode. It's going to turn everything red, and then if I push it right there, it's going to go back to normal mode up here. And then you have snow mode because this is the all-wheel drive, so probably going to use that a little bit if you get a bad storm. Got the brake hold button right here, and then traction control off. You know what that's for. I don't have to explain that. So let's get this thing out onto the road and see how she drives. Getting onto the highway, seeing how the acceleration is. Wow. Oh man. And that's not full throttle. That's just kind of being a normal person about it. That's just kind of sort of getting on it. I mean, just a regular V6 and a 6-speed transmission, you would not think it's going to drive this well or feel this sharp. I was just on some back roads and the steering does feel super direct. You know, is it going to be as sharp as some of the other sports cars you guys have been in? Probably not, but it is super direct steering. As far as road noise is concerned, the road noise from the tires, despite being, you know, rubber bands wrapped around those beautiful 19-inch wheels, you think it would be pretty harsh sounding, but somehow they've put so much sound deadening in here that the road noise is not bad. The wind noise from the windshield is also not bad. So really a very quiet cabin. It's still a luxury vehicle, just like most Lexus vehicles are. They have that awesome feel inside. This still maintains that, but it has that sporty edge that you want out of a daily driver. You know, it's not uncomfortable to the point where you get just a purpose-built sports car and you're kind of dealing with a little bit of an uncomfortable interior. That's not the case with the IS here. It soaks up the bumps well. Road noise is not that bad, like I said. And the acceleration, oh man, it just corners on rails. It is so fun to drive this car. So if you're looking for a daily driver that is just an absolute blast to take out, this should be at the top of your list. This IS350 with this V6 is an absolute delight to drive. This thing, I think it didn't even take 5 minutes from when I got into it originally to put a smile on my face. Wow, that sound too coming from the V6. Oh man, this car, if you hate your job and you want to put a smile on your face every day before you go to work, this is the car to do it. All right, guys, that wraps it up for my review of the 2024 Lexus IS350 F-Sport design. I wanted to give a quick shout out to my awesome friends at Johnson Lexus. You see their sign back here. This is their brand new facility. They just opened the store. It is absolutely beautiful inside. I will have all their info in the description down below. If you are interested in their Lexus inventory, this car is available as of the shooting of this video. Now, I wanted to answer the question for you guys. Is this IS350 too outdated to buy in 2024? Well, my answer is no, and that's because I'm an analog automotive enthusiast, I guess you could call myself. That's how I would explain it. And I don't mind the fact that the 3.5 liter V6 doesn't have a turbo. The 6-speed transmission I don't mind, because I'm imagining, especially being Toyota sourced, it's going to be more reliable than say a 7, 8, 9, 10-speed transmission that's coming in a lot of the other German and American competitors. So that's another plus for this car. The interior also feels great because the entire dashboard isn't covered with a touchscreen. It's just a very small section. And then the gauges still have an analog display. Love that. I don't like a digital gauge cluster. I like to see the analog gauges. So there's so many old school things about this car that makes me like it. So if you are an old school or analog automotive enthusiast like myself, I would definitely recommend this car still, even in 2024. I would love to have this as a second daily. What a great car. But if you don't like an old school feel, you have to have the cutting edge. I would definitely go ahead and take a look at brands like Audi, BMW, Mercedes. They are going to have more of that feeling on the interior compared to this IS350. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys for my next new car review.